Welcome to On the Chain.
So Jimmy Fallon writes, when it comes to the SEC v. Ripple and all the different federal agencies trying to regulate crypto, start thinking about the bigger picture like Chevron deference, the major questions, doctrine, and our new Supreme Court makeup. Now this, when did he put this out? December 29th in 2020. Now think about that. Think about what he's already projecting. This is nearly a year and a half ago to be safe. But this is just a couple days after the SEC drops this big case. And what he's saying to everybody is like, listen, let's think about the bigger picture here. And then the new Supreme Court makeup. And that new Supreme Court makeup came to fruition the way Jimmy was talking about that. And so if we go back to John Deaton's tweet, John Deaton says, here's a great example of why I often ask my friend Jimmy Fallon what he thinks. Check out the date of the tweet. Jimmy was talking about the major questions and doctrine of our new Supreme Court makeup long before the EPA decision came out just a week and a half ago. So this is pretty incredible. This is the second one here. Let me pull this one up here. And number two part of that tweet was the major question doctrines hold the way the major questions doctrine holds that courts generally should not defer to agency statutory interpretations that concern questions of vast economical or political significance. Why should one agency get to decide questions of vast economic or political significance? So when we start talking about this and we start looking at someone like Jimmy Fallon, this is who these guys are. Yeah, we have John Deaton, we have Jimmy Fallon, we have Jeremy Hogan, and there's a few other attorneys in that mix too. These are professionals. These are people who have amazing opinions. And Jimmy Fallon putting this out when a lot of us in the community didn't even know who he was yet until he started dropping all the court docs. And then all of a sudden he blew up as well. But he's making it a great point here. Why would you put all the power in one agency that's going to go ahead and decide this massive, game-changing, as he puts it, a vast economic or political significance? You simply wouldn't. And that's exactly what he's talking about here. And the two slapdowns, and again, I mean, not to get so in a political thing, but the Roe v. Wade thing, the reason that had to be tossed back to the states, only because there was nothing in the Constitution or there's no laws on the books. And that part, you know, we've got three parts of our government. You've got the legislative branch, that's Congress, that makes the laws. You've got the executive branch, which is the president, that signs the laws. And then you've got the judicial. The judicial actually goes ahead and interprets the law. If there's nothing to interpret, you can fall back on the Constitution. If there's nothing in the Constitution, you have to kick it back and make it a states' rights issue and let the states decide on it. However, all along in the 49, 50 years that ruling came down, very simply could have been codified by just going ahead and passing legislation. Now we've heard both sides. Well, the one side said, well, we just thought that's the way it was. Like there was not going to change. There wasn't going to be anything odd about that. Okay, great. But it was an opinion of the court. And this is where I bring this one another step further. So if that's the case, why is the SEC making stuff up that doesn't exist either in the Constitution or its law, right? There's in the way that Congress writes these laws, very vague, open to interpretation. Why don't they get a little bit more serious about defining it? Now, we've seen a lot of bills come out. Senator Cynthia Lummis, the latest one to come out, but we've had Tom Emmerich come out with one, Warren Davidson going back 3.5 years ago. There has to be the political will in Washington to be able to take this on. Now, everything, forget about it. All bets are off. We are coming up on election season. There's going to be an election with they famously term the midterms because it's always the midterm of the president. That's why they're called the midterms. It's during the president's midterm, and almost historically, with a few exceptions, whoever is in the White House, it flips the other way. Now, it hasn't always happened that way, but you're probably going to see that. And then we're going to see a lot of goodwill. Then we're going to see some real hearings. We're going to see exactly what kind of hearings are going to go on. That's going to be a whole different thing. What's up, G? Let's see you in here. And I want to go ahead and throw this one up here as well. Ripple lawsuit makes XRP the most important altcoin, says lawyer. Just like a vague headline. It's like, oh, let me click on that and see what's going on there. What does that mean? Considering Congress is not going to provide regulatory clarity, the ruling by Judge Torres in the Southern District in New York will decide whether the SEC has jurisdiction over the existing altcoins that have traded for years. FastMed founder Jason Williams, known as Parabolic Guy, triggered discussion on Twitter over the role of XRP in the digital space. And I do have that. Let me see where that puppy is. Let me look at this. Let me look. I wanted to make sure I had that up here. Holy cow, I'm looking for it, guys. I wanted to, usually I have it sitting right next there. There it is right there. He triggered the entire space, but there it is right there. FastMed founder Jason Williams. I want to throw the tweet up here before we go ahead and let's do this right here. There it is right there. And it was very simple. It's like, why is XRP important? And he put up a bunch of other tweets like, why is this important? Why is this important? You know, you're going to get some decent engagement on this. And so why is it important? The entrepreneur is also a Bitcoin investor with multiple investment exits in excess of $500 million and is the founding partner of Morgan Creek Digital Assets. The Bitcoin maximalist asked, why is XRP important? And so I wanted to get into this. And XRP holders attorney John Deaton, who pointed out the SEC v. Ripple case can make it or break it for the crypto asset industry. The court will decide whether the SEC has jurisdiction over the altcoins, and the SEC's argument regarding XRP makes XRP by far the most important altcoin in crypto. The SEC is alleging that today's XRP, the token itself, is a security, including secondary market sales, independent of Ripple, is what Deaton's tweet was, which I'll throw up here so we can kind of glance on that right there. And he basically was answering that. And it's true, because the answer to Jason's question, it's a very simple and easy one. The SEC's argument regarding the XRP makes XRP the most important altcoin in crypto, but otherwise, the SEC is alleging today's XRP, the token itself, is a security. And they're even talking about all of the secondary market, totally independent of Ripple, which is absolutely kind of crazy and insane, considering Congress is not going to provide regulatory clarity, especially in the election year, as I mentioned. The ruling by Judge Torres in the Southern District of New York will decide whether the SEC has jurisdiction over the existing altcoins that have been traded for years. SEC is not only alleging the way Ripple offers and sales of XRP are illegal, but all of XRP are unregistered security, which is hilarious to me. I mean, it's kind of a stretch. They could have just been like, well, yeah, we think that there's certain sales. It could have been, you might allege that, but I know they're all secondary market, doesn't matter. All of them unregistered securities. And what I was going to say was when you put something up there, why is XRP important? Well, I'll tell you why it's important now. Yeah, it's always been an important altcoin. And I hate that term altcoin because you're basically acknowledging that there's one coin, that's Bitcoin, and the other ones are all alternate or the altcoins. And yeah, could be. But the reason it's the most important one right now is because there's a lot weighing on the decision of this case. And I've said before that if the SEC had this really strong case, you have your opponent. I don't care what game you're playing. When you have your opponent against the ropes, you go for it. You destroy them, right? You win. Not the SEC. No, it's like all very timid. Oh, we can't release that. Wait, those documents? I don't know anything about documents. What documents? I don't know anything. I'm not turning over any documents. So it is rather funny to me that there's kind of a stall tactic that's going on here, where they're just taking as much time as they possibly can. And when are they going to actually get around to it? That's about anybody's guess when they're going to actually play ball. But here's the good news for all of us, especially if you are an investor in XRP. That's us. We are closer to the end of this than we were. We're well past the halfway point. So we're looking at November, December. Realistically, we've heard from Jeremy Hogan and John Deaton thinking that it's probably the decision is going to come down early 2023, anywhere between probably closer to March, but anything can change. And of course, we'll have to wait and see exactly what happens with the turnover of these the Hinman emails. Exactly what was in those emails? Did they actually mention that maybe XRP not a secure? Were they like going through the potential altcoins that were not securities, and they settled on, let's just talk about Ethereum, let's talk about Bitcoin? I don't know.
Are you down with OTC? Please like, subscribe, and click the bell to be notified when the next video drops.